Welcome everyone. So this is the part 2 for our checkpoint firewall on VMware Workstation. In part 2, we are going to install gateway and configure basic things like giving IP on our other interface. So first part 1 we have to install SMS. Now this video we are going to install our gateway on VMware. So we have to create virtual machine and we have to connect four different adapters. The first adapter on host only and the second adapter is Ethernet one is NAT adapter. And the other two we are going to configure LAN segment and giving the name LAN and DMG. So follow this video to configure and installation our checkpoint gateway. This is a distributed type of topology. So distributed type of deployment in our lab. So we are going to create checkpoint gateway. So this is our SMS. Now we have to install our checkpoint gateway. So click here, create new virtual machine, click next, click next. I will install operating system later. We have to select Red Hat and give the name. I am going to give the name checkpoint gateway. Click next. Then I'm going to use the RAM is 2 GB and the first adapters we are going to use host only networking because the first adapter is on Ethernet 0. This is the first adapter Ethernet 0. It connected to the host only. And the second adapter and third adapter and fourth adapter I am going to explain how we are going to connect. So first adapter it should be only host only networking. Click next, then click next, click next, next, and I'm going to storage for 100 GB and click next and finish. So now we have to configure add three more adapters. First adapter host only. Now we are going to add second adapter. Second adapter it on net. So select on net. It's going to access internet for our gateway. And now we have to add third adapter. Third adapter is on LAN segment. So we can check here. This is the first on host and this is the second on net and this is Ethernet 2 adapter on the LAN segment 1. I'm going to give the name is create a LAN segment and I'm going to use this LAN adapter. First of all, I have to remove and now we have to create add. This is like LAN segment 1. So you click press OK. This is adapter we are going to use for our LAN. Click OK and now we are going to add another for our DMG network. So press finish and click LAN segment and add another one. This is LAN segment 2 for our DMG. So press OK and select here LAN segment 2. LAN segment 1 this adapter and LAN segment 2. So press OK. Now check. This is host, this is a net, this is a LAN segment 1, this is a LAN segment 2. So now we are going to add ISO image for installation of our gateway. Give the ISO image, select the ISO, open, press OK. Now power on this machine, enter for installation. Press OK. I think we should increase the RAM. So I'm going to power off. I have to keep the RAM more than 2 GB. So I am going to give 4 GB. Then power on. This should the VRAM minimum 4 GB. for installation on VMware. Now press OK, then press OK, and now we are going to press OK. Give the password. I'm using same as my SMS. Press OK. Now give the password for maintenance. Then press OK. Now for Ethernet 0, we are going to use IP 192.168.100.200, just like our topology. So our topology, I'm going to show you guys. This is our topology. So the first adapter is host adapter for Ethernet 0. So we are using this network and the IP on Ethernet 0 is should be .200 or for my topology. And what is default gateway? So default gateway I'm going to use for our net gateway. So for net we are using 203.0.113.254 to access internet. So we are going to give IP is 203.0.113.254. Then press OK, and the gateway specified is not accessible. You have to specify. And there's something issue here. We can use, so we can change after some time. So give only 1.1.1. I think we have to give same network. So I'm going to use 100.254. Right now we are using 100.254. Then we are going to change. Definitely we have to change the gateway for internet connection. Wait for installation. It's taking few minutes. Now press enter for reboot. After the reboot, we have to access through our browser. Then we are going to configure some basic settings. So gateway is installed. Now we are going to access through our web browser. So the IP for our gateway is 100.200, 192.168.100.200. Click Add Advanced option, continue. User is admin and the password king 80321. Enter. Now click next, and we are going to change gateway. So the gateway is 203.0.113. You are remember when we configure the net setting on our virtual network for VMware, we are going to give this network. So this is default gateway for our firewall. Click next, then click next, and then change the host name. I'm going to give this CP gateway, and the DNS is 192.168.1.1 because my PC access through this DNS. And the secondary DNS we are using Google DNS, and tertiary I'm going to use Cloudflare. Click next, and the time zone set manually, or you can use checkpoint NTP. Click next, and then click next. This is security gateway. We are already installed our security management service, so we are using this as security gateway. Click next and use create activation key. Remember what you are giving this key, because we need this activation key to connect through our SMS. Now click next and finish this process. After the installation, we have to configure other three ports: Ethernet 1 port, Ethernet 2, and Ethernet 3. So we have to configure these three interfaces also and define the name for each interface. So wait for our basic configuration installation. So press OK. Now our gateway is rebooting. You can see here our gateway is rebooting. After the reboot, we have to access and configure other three interfaces. Still rebooting. It's rebooted. Now go to your browser, use admin and the password key, delete 321, press enter. Now we are going to configure other three interface. So this is our Ethernet 0. This interface on management interface and other three interface. So Ethernet 1 on your WAN interface, Ethernet to your LAN, and Ethernet 3 or TMG interface. So I'm going to give and configure each interface. Press OK. So basically this interface is management. So I'm going to give the name is management interface for our identification. Which interface? So this is management interface and we are going to obtain IP from WAN. So this is WAN interface. Give the name WAN interface. Press OK. We are going to get IP automatically. Press OK and Ethernet 2. This is our WAN interface. So we are giving the name is WAN interface and the IP we are using 110.10.10.200 and the subnet mask we are using 255.255.0. Just like our topology. On LAN segment we are using 10.10.0 and the class C subnet mask. So this is LAN interface and our Ethernet 1 should be on Optane. I'm going to access through Optane IP and then I'm going to change. Just checking IP is so IP is accessible, but I'm going to use 200. So I'm going to give the 200. So this is our WAN interface IP. Now for Ethernet 3 on our DMG interface, for DMG we are using 172.16.10.0.200 for this interface on DMG. So select here, give the name DMG interface and the IP we are using 172.16.10.200 and the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Press OK and for we have to configure our route. So for our internet connection. So the traffic should be go for internet follow this route. 203.0.113.254 is our gateway. So allow the ping and priority give the 1. Now we are going to check is this gateway is access through our firewall to go for internet. So open the terminal here, give the username admin and the password our gateway is ping 80.321 and ping to Google. So I'm going to ping 8.8.8. So we are connected through internet. So our internet is accessible and this is our part 2 video. In next video, we are going to install our Windows PC, our ADDS and our web server. So we are using for web server, we are using CentOS for Red Hat Linux distributor. CentOS is free from Red Hat. And for user authentication, we are using Windows Server for installing ADDS and to check all other lab practical we are using Windows PC. So thank you everyone. This is the part 2. Wait for our part 3 video. Part 3 video we are going to use install other three virtual machines.